One of these days, I'm gonna need y'all to actually hold me accountable to practice my skills. Recently, in a community post, I asked you guys what you're currently practicing on the violin, and it's been really interesting to hear what you guys have been up to, what you're doing, and where you're putting your main focus on during practice. Some of you guys have said that you're currently practicing Shrediak, which is so good for the fingers. I am actually thinking of bringing it back into my own practice routine. Someone else said that they're doing Yost shifting exercise, and what else? Oscar reading violin concerto, which I don't think I've played before, so I would love to look at it. And last but not the least, scales and arpeggios. It all sounds very good, and I really appreciate you taking the time to participate in the poll. Looking at the results of the poll, it looks like there's quite a few people who voted that they're only practicing pieces at the moment. I can't say that I'm surprised, because I also really enjoy practicing pieces the moment I open my case, and you know, it's kind of a struggle for me to make myself do scales and arpeggios, but at the moment I'm actually mixing it up. So I'm playing pieces and incorporating some etude studies from Moses and also Wolfhard, sort of like a sight reading material, because I haven't played from the Wolfhard for so long, so it is bringing back old memories of when I first started playing from the book. As a result, I tend to neglect very important aspects of practicing, which involves scales and arpeggios. But I promise to make this video response for Ava to try and help her out. I want to show you exactly step by step how I would approach a 3-octave scale and arpeggio in the key of D major. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Okay, so I have the very famous Simon Fisher Scales book in front of me right now, and I'm very tempted to show you what the book looks like, but it's quite hefty, and I have other things on the music stand that are all in danger of going down to the floor if I'm not careful. So I'm just gonna leave the book on the stand and tell you the page number in case you are curious and you want to follow along. This is page 86 of the 3-octave scales for timing shifts, and it starts off in 3rd position with the 2nd finger on D, so that's D, C sharp, D, E, F sharp. And my pinky feels comfortable in this position. The interval between the 1st and the 4th finger here is a perfect 4, so this feels comfortable for me. But I know, Ava, that you're struggling to reach that F sharp, and the first thing that I would say is to pay attention to the position of your shoulder in relation to your elbow. So for me, I have to bring it under quite a bit and towards the center of my body, so I can maintain this curved pinky. And I think you saw me a while ago, I was doing finger taps. That really helps to strengthen the pinky. So if you want to do that as well, just pay attention to the action and make sure that it's coming from the base knuckle when you're lifting and you're dropping the finger. And hopefully you can hear the faint pitch of the F sharp when you're doing that. So yeah, this is the finger spacing pattern. We have 1st and 2nd finger touching together, and then spaces for the rest of the fingers. Now we move on to the next string over, which means that my 1st finger, because it's touching together, these 2 fingers here, I need to stretch it back in order to land that G squarely. And now this is the finger spacing pattern on the D string. You can see how the 4th finger is in an extended position. Normally it's on C, but now we have to extend it. And there's spaces between all of the fingers, which makes this a little more difficult. I think, compared to the G string. Now you can continue to do your finger taps over here as well to strengthen your pinky, but one thing I want to show you right now is that this interval here from first to fourth finger is an interval of a augmented fourth or diminished fifth, and some people call it tritone, and the reason why is because there are 3 whole steps in between the fingers. So yeah, let's hear it from the top. So D, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. Now this is where it begins to be challenging, because now we have a shift that we need to prepare for, and it's going to be from 3rd position to 5th position. The interval that we're working with is a major 3rd interval from 1st to 3rd finger. So this is what it sounds like: D to F sharp, and this is what I would do to practice the shift. Place the fingers down and then hold the F sharp in my mind before I shift from 1st finger to the what am I saying? From 3rd position to 5th position. So you see I'm alternating between making the shift audible and masking it. So what I do is I lessen the pressure on the bow and also on the finger here when I'm trying to mask the shift. But at this stage, it doesn't really matter. If you need to hear the glissando in order to start measuring how far you need to go up, and listen for the F sharp. So now we're in 5th position, 1st finger on the F sharp, G, A, B, and we find ourselves in this finger spacing pattern again, where the 1st and 2nd fingers are touching together. So F sharp, and crossing over to the next string, C sharp. Again, we're going to need to prepare for this shift now, and it's important to recognize first how far you need to go. So from 5th position to 7th, this is an interval of a minor 3rd, C sharp, D, E. Now we're in 7th. This is the halfway point between the bridge and the nut, and this is where the harmonics are, so it's a good anchor point for the fingers. E, F sharp, G. Our final shift before we end the scale. E, F sharp, G. Now we're in 9th position, and we're gonna finish off the scale now with G, A, B, C sharp, D. Now the margin of error here is very small because these fingers are just so close together, and you barely have to move the 4th finger to reach that D. So a couple of run-throughs just to make sure that my fingers find the notes and somewhat feel at home in this position, although this is a very uncomfortable position for the fingers right now. What I would do is to bring the hand over the instrument to have more of a curved pinky, although my pinky looks very straight right now, but it's just really hard for me because I have short pinky. So from G again. Now the challenge begins again when you're descending, because it's just, for me, I find it so difficult to do downshifts. Going up is a little easier than going down, in my opinion. So this just takes some practice, I think. So I try to hear the F sharp first before I shift into it with the third finger. I think I got it on the second or third try, but basically now I'm on the note D. This is 6th position, and now I'm going to reach for my 4th finger on the A string on the C sharp. Again, this is a shift from 1st finger to 3rd. Not bad, I think. And C sharp. Okay, so if we were to speed it up some, this is how it would sound now. And then to try and make it interesting, I would probably look at the pieces that I'm currently working on. In this case, I'm practicing Vivaldi Summer, which requires sautille, bowing, and spiccato. So I would try and incorporate it in the scale practice, and this is what it would sound like. So now that we've done all the hard work in scales, I think that the arpeggios are a little easier, because now we only have to think of the major chord triad, which is the D, F sharp, and A. And yeah, so let's go over this very slowly. Again, we start in 3rd position on the D, F sharp, A, D. We're going to shift to F sharp now. A, D, F sharp, A, and D. So just to show you this position here. So this is F sharp, A, and D. And there's a perfect 4 interval between the A and the D. And this is a minor third from, not minor third, sorry, major third from F sharp. No, it is a minor third. Yes, I was correct the first time. F sharp, G, A is a minor third interval. Now we shift to third position. And faster, this is how it would sound like. I hope this video showed you just how difficult it is for me to practice scales and arpeggios. I'm the type of person to really need that extra motivation to get it done on a regular basis, which is quite surprising for me because I used to love practicing scales on the piano. I just think that there are so many fingering combinations on the violin that sometimes I feel like it's better to practice it in the context of the piece that I'm learning rather than to spend a lot of time, going through the drills. But yeah, if you have any special way of, making yourself do it on a regular basis, I'd love to hear it, because I do realize that it's so important and it's only gonna make my playing better if I do it on a regular basis. And yeah, so I talked a lot about shifting in this video, but if you're interested in hearing more about how I personally started shifting, then I will link in the description below a video that I made a while back talking about the different moving parts that are involved in shifting, because I think that once you start to go outside of first position, it starts to really get exciting. And so yeah, thanks again for watching, and I will see you on my next video. Bye.